Hi, this is Multi-Topic Talk. Welcome to this new video. So today I am being lazy. I do not want to search for the physical card for this deck, but I still have it in real life. Regardless, we are covering something special today. We are covering several decks. The theme this time around is Gedo Art of Rene Rebirth. So the idea is to bring back your graveyard and your opponent graveyard. It's basically bring everything on the board by, if you're lucky, turn 4. If you're not, turn 6 is the real turn for that mission. But here's the thing. Yes, you help your opponent, but your deck is based on having big ninjas. So because of that, well, you will likely have a better board than your opponent, even if you bring his board as well. Anyway, that's the whole idea of the decks we will cover today. There are 5 lists, and this is the first list out of these 5. And this one is the Tailed Beast variant. So, as you can see it, we play Shokaku, 5-tail, 4-tail, 8-tail, 7-tail, 3-tail, 6-tail, 2-tail, Shino, Sakura Aruno Childhood. Now, here's the thing, I think I will need to swap these 3 for 2 and maybe add another 0 drop, because I actually do not have 3 Sakura Aruno Childhood. Maybe replace one of these by Anari. I always thought I had 3, but actually I only have 2, sadly. Next up is Utakata, Tenten, Mabui, the Kentic Fan, Inkfish, Ina, Feral Rage, because we got many big beasts. Pressure damage is very fun, one of the best wind jutsu out there. Hydro Pump, if you have been playing, you know what that card does. Lost Gedo Art of Ren Rebirth. I don't run more than 2 because I only have 2 in real life. And here's the second thing about it, it's a turn 6 mission. You will likely want to use Sakura's Tear to use Gedo's art, because your Gedo may end up in your graveyard. And if it does, well, Sakura's Tears let you play Gedo on turn 4, because Sakura's Tears is turn 4. So the idea is, if you're lucky, you have a bunch of beasts in your graveyard, and you have Sakura's Tears and Ren Rebirth in your grave, so you can like bring back everything turn 4. That's kind of broken. Now, this time around, comparative strength, usually that's the kind of stuff you like to sideboard, or that's the kind of stuff you use to make sure to cancel what you don't want on the board. And I think it's important in this deck for comparative strength to be part of it, because one Shimon, one Ino can make you lose the game, literally. So that's why we run comparative strength. I only run 2 because that's more of a response thing than a consistent stuff to help out with the combos. Lord's Convene because we really want the right ninjas in our end. Block in Memory because this deck is kind of slow in the early parts of the game, and as you can see, every beast, or well, I should say most of the beasts, I only run 1 copy, and my deck doesn't really run defensive stuff. So because of that, we really want Block in Memory to just slow down the pacing of the game. This is only one of the 5 decks we will cover today. You have seen the big lines and stuff. Once we are done covering all 5 lists this way, we will go deeper into the cards, just like any deck profile I did previously on this video. So here we are. We will go a bit deeper into that list with a few ninjas. So, okay. When I speak about the second Okage for this specific list, I speak about supremacy. Supremacy effect is basically during your mission phase, it's a free effect. Move one card in your discard pile or uh no, move one card from your discard pile to your chakra area or one mission card from your discard pile to your end. So the idea there is to recycle your mission. The second idea there is if you are lacking chakra for I don't know the reason, you can make chakra of your own. This is one of the best second Okage the game ever created. It's hands down my favorite, and I think it's a staple when you play water. Now, I know other second Okage that are kinda good. This one is decent. I think I actually have one copy in real life, but I don't really play that one. Um, so now we go in first Okage territory. By the way, there are like 2 fan cards, 3 fan cards. There are many fan cards there. Okay. Next up would be the third Okage. Where are you? So, third Okage had the most good and the most bad ones. You cannot lack third Okages. There were many third Okages. This is hands down the best third Okage the game ever made. Now, there's another one that could, on exchange of jutsu, sacrifice himself to kill an opposing ninja. That was a good Turtle Kage, but I don't really like self-sacrifice this way, so I will say I like this Turtle Kage much more. And I am a bit sad about that, because in real life I only have one copy. I just wished I had more than one. But at least I got one. Some people don't have any. Now, this is another very playable Turtle Kage. He's not as good as the other two I mentioned, but he still has mastery, so that's very fun. And he doesn't kill himself, so that's also very good. Next up, I don't know if I run any Ford Okage in any of these decks, but if I do so, that would be the one. Here again, I only have one copy of this one in real life. I wish I had more. He is amazing. If you run a Ford Okage, run that one. Now, there's also the Cancer one, but I think he is elsewhere. Next up would be 6th Okage. I'm pretty sure at least one of my decks I mentioned run that one. He is very good in Gedo because you have bunch of turn 6. So you just swing with your turn 6, and if your opponent doesn't have enough turn 6, you just earn 6 battle rewards the first turn, and then the second turn you earn another 6 battle rewards because that 6 Okage has Inherit, so this means he can transfer his effect when he dies. That's absurd. That's really good. So he turned 6, but they didn't really talk about Gedo and how a Gedo deck must be played. So that's a really good 6 Okage, free battle rewards. There's also that one. I don't have him in real life, so I cannot talk about him much. I will still read his effect. Eddie is still Fire Wind. That's really cool. Injure one ninja you control, give one damage to target when an entrance cost equal to the ninja you injured. Yeah, it's nowhere near as good as the other one. So if you get to choose, pick the one I use. But I surely like him wearing the hat. Next up, 5th Okage Supremacy. That's the best 5th Okage we ever had. That's the best Tsunade we ever had. She is so good. Valid exchange of jutsu. Cost 1. Colorless. Perfect for any gedo deck. Uh, so on exchange of jutsu, you can heal target ninja and draw one card. Now this is funny because this card do not mention injured. So this means we can also heal a LT ninja. She is broken. She is so good. If you're playing female, well actually when you play female you want to play the kimono one, but I think she is still really good. When I think about it, the best Tsunade is actually Tsunade Kimono, but I just think this one fits better Gedo decks. So there's one last Okage we will cover, and this is a Cancer in person. The only 4th Okage I would freaking ban if I could. Teleportation. He is both lightning and wind, which is really good. But the biggest reason why it's so absurd, it's because of the combo with Special Kunai. So Special Kunai, you basically got a guy immune to Jutsu on whatever the turn you play Special Kunai. And that ninja is meant to be turn 6, but Special Kunai do not care about that. It's a 5-4-6-5 ninja. Man, that's a plague. I roll my eye when I see Special Kunai in that freaking Okage, man. I have so much hatred for that one. If someone flakes that, I scoop and I don't play with that guy anymore. I'm not joking. It's not fun. When you have seen it like 10 times, 20 times, it's exhausting. It's not fun. It's like, oh, okay, you also play that. Okay, so I guess we covered each Okage. So next up, the sad case of Mizukage. So she was late in the show, so this means we only have 2 Mizukage to talk about. And we got a fan art one. The fan cards. Let's still take a look to it. So it's a fan card. When this ninja is deployed, discard your end. In that case, move up to 2 cards from your discard pile to your end. So this Mizukage is actually one of the most balanced fan card I've seen. I still don't want you to play it if you fight me because it's a fan card and I haven't seen broken combo yet with him, so I think he's more balanced than most fan cards, but it's a fan card and I ate all of the fan cards. Even if the intent was good, even if it's interesting to just look at what idea the fan had, it doesn't belong in the game. The game died set 28 and it should have stayed there. But hey, fan set exists and they did a great job. Even if I don't think they're balanced or fun, they had good ideas. I just think they were poorly executed. Both Void and Water, that gives me some Kisame vibe, but I understand why. I mean, I understand why. Next up, so this is the weakest Mizukage out of the two. If that's your only option, that's your only option. At the start of your opening turn, if they control more ninjas than you, they discard one ninja they control. So this is only good if you build your deck around having less ninjas than your opponent. Like, for example, Pain. If you play a deck around Pain, that could work. Because usually Pain doesn't have as many ninjas as their opponent. But even there, I don't think that's very good. Out of the new Kages in set 28, I think that was actually the worst. She has the same stat as the other one. And now we will cover the one we use. I have 2 copies of her in real life. I brag about it because she was hard to find, and I like that card a lot. She is really good. She's not the best Kage out there, but she is among the best cards the game produced. She is really strong. So, the Water Shadow mission. So this means on your turn or your opponent turn, once a turn of course, you pay 2. If you do so, negate 2 target ninja effects during this turn. When those ninjas receive damage during this turn, discard them, and your opponent discard the top 4 cards of their deck. So, it's cool to negate 2 ninjas, but it's even better if you got stuff to damage them, to snipe them. That's actually OP if you find a way to do so. And now I'm thinking about that, but I considered making a Daedara deck with her. Oh my. Daedara has a lot of stuff that just snipe. That's crazy. Oh, that's the next deck I'm making. Okay. Um, Great stats. 6-4-1-3. Well, you don't really want her to be injured, and usually when you're Gedo, the only thing that can really beat you is like jutsus, because you will usually like jutsus, but there are other ways around. Like the other Kages, they have response to jutsus, and if you play water, you have a few things to blow up chakras here and there. But I think among the Kages, she is probably the less trending one, so she is the less likely to be 1-3. Usually they will aim at the other Kages. That's the idea, because she's not the strongest. She is the most annoying one, but she's not the strongest. So here, that's the next stop, the Kazekages. Okay. This is the best Kazekage there ever was. It was freaking hard to find. I got lucky. I have 1 copy of him in real life. He is so good. Usually if they have Jutsu, they will target him because he is one of the best cards this game ever produced. So here's the thing. He is Wind, Earth, Lightning. So these are 3 very interesting colors if you want to mix. Wind and Lightning works very well. Wind and Earth also works very well. The weakest would be Earth and Lightning, but even there they do have Taijutsu, so it's still very good. Now, the most interesting part of him, I think, is his stats. He is a 7-3. Now, it's Kages. Most of the Gedos you will play is Kage, and most of the Kage, they actually have 6 as their stats. The only 2 exception would be Tsunade and Raikage. These are the only 2 that have more firepower. So having a 7 among the Kages is actually really good. He is like the perfect leader of your team. Doesn't have the best support, but at that point most Kages have 4 support or 5 in Tsushikage case. So you don't really care if Gaara doesn't have support. It's just that heavy hitter in the front line. Now, the other good things is other ninjas you control cannot be the target of your opponent ninja effects. So this means only mission and jutsu can hit you. Like any exchange of jutsu crap, mission phase crap, they don't affect you. It can affect Gaara, but it doesn't affect the others. And in itself, it's actually really good. If you fight versus Pain, Pain can only negate him. They cannot negate the others. Pain can only stand by him. They cannot stand by the others. So if you don't fight with Gaara, it's even harder for Pain to just get around that Kazekage. Now, what made this card so good is the second effect. It's crazy. Exchange of Jutsu. It means either on your turn or your opponent's turn when you fight, you can pay 1 chakra. And you can negate target jutsu. Then move cards equal to the user's target cost from your discard pile to your chakra area. So the most chakra they paid for their jutsu, the most chakra you earned. So it's broken because not only you negate something, but you earn chakra from negating. It's so good. It's just OP. That's hands down the best Kage the game ever had, I think. Next up would be Ford Kazekage, my favorite. Even if he's nowhere near as good as the 5th, I do think he is very fun, and I do think it's my favorite to play. This one is a 6-4-5-1. You don't want him injured. You're sad if he is injured. Usually you will place him as support. He is still 4 as a support, and this is very appreciated. Another funny thing, he has mental power 2, and never really seemed that smart. Maybe against Gaara was a bit smart. Even there, where that mental power is coming from. Anyway, when this ninja is sent out to attack, your opponent must select and discard one of their in-play ninjas. So that's the good thing about him. He is so strong. Each time you attack with him, you kill someone. And that's even before the fight, so you cannot really respond to that. The only way he can work around his effect would be using a mission or a ninja during the mission phase before Kazekage fight. But once Kazekage is sent, if nothing was done prior, forget it, you lose someone. That's why he is so good. So profile number 2 is a bit more of a classic Gedo Artrin Rebirth deck. I say that because many decks like that probably exist out there if you really search. So here we are. First up, Temari, a bunch of Kage ninjas, Kisame because we like Kisame, and no Gyoja because he's funny. Other Kages, Kabuto, the one that brings back people from the graveyard. The 5th Kage, Mabui, Utakida, Sakura. These are actually great, and just like I said earlier, I always thought I had 3 childhood. I only have 2. So the 3rd spot would be like Anare or Gaara of the Desert Childhood. I only have 1 copy, so that could be great replacement. Now, here is one of the first few change among many. Ataru Katsuragi. This one, that's the Flashpoint one because you want stuff in your graveyard. So you draw, discard, and that's fun. Next up is Tenten. Tenten, you know her. You discard a chakra to search for something else you put in your chakra. Shino does the same thing. Ina. I actually add Ina in the other list as well. And here's the thing. Ina is to make sure there are no art-to-art communication or other, like, crying in vain or anything that could stop my gedo art really to work. And it's also for comparative strength, just in case. Now, because I got many Kages, we play a Triumph Divination Seal spell formula. I only run 2, even if this is one of the best fire jutsu that ever existed. In my mind, it's a broken jutsu, and it should remain to 2 instead of 3. I don't know why the most recent ROG list decided, you know what, we take out Trigram. I think it's broken. Now, in my deck, I run it twice because I don't like playing broken stuff. And the other reason would be the requirement. You need a Kage. Even if I got lots of Kages, I still have 0 drops and I want jutsus they can use. And I just think Snake Sword is just straight up better. Hydro Pump is straight up better. This deck runs less jutsu, only 6 jutsu, because I don't need that many jutsu. And this is a water variant as well, based on what I see. And it's actually interesting. Now, I don't know why it's comparative and not dehydration. Dehydration could be actually better, and I do have dehydration, so I should maybe replace that, actually. Gedo Art of Rin Rebirth. We said it earlier. That's our key card. Sakura's Tear, because that's another key card. And now Ghost Panic. In every single ROG list, that card has been limited to 1. Now, Ghost Panic in this deck is just a weaker version of Gedo Art. And I made sure most of my I-turn are water. That's also why I play so many Kages, because most of these Kages, they do have water. Second Kage, third Kage, fourth right Kage, fifth Mizukage, Kisame, another water. Now we got first wind that cannot be a target for Ghost Panic, but I don't care, it's Emno Gelja, he's just broken. Then we got Tsushikage and 2 Kazekage, but then we are back at Water Ninjas with Kabuto. And then we are back at another Wind Ninja. So, yeah, that's the second list in this current video. So, yeah. Okay, I will admit, I adopt at first. But I think this is actually my most original in the bunch. This is a unique list, I should say. This one is really unique. So, it's mainly wind, the biggest color in it. Here's the thing, we run also pains. Because pain do have sacrifice, and Gedo removes sacrifice. That's one good thing. Now, the other thing why this deck is interesting is because I play Pain, I actually run stuff to speed up my turn maker. So, sorry about that. I do weird shenanigans there. I also run Gathering the Beast. So usually this is a card that lets you basically tutor creature for your graveyard. Now this comes really uh, good. This becomes really good in gedo because the idea of gedo is filling your graveyard and just splashing everything you have and play really fast. That's the idea of the deck. So it's very interesting. This list, I did not tested this list, so I have no idea if it's actually a good list. But if it is, man, it looks amazing. It looks very fun to play for sure. You got like every pain, I think. Yeah, you got every pain. You got Kage splashed into it. And jutsu wise, you don't have that many, but you don't really need jutsus when you're that heavy with items like that. Lords Convene, great mission for this deck. Now, I think the biggest sin, the biggest flaw of this list would be the lack of ninja that make you search or that make you discard stuff you want. But there again, Gathering the Beast basically fills that role amazing. And the more I think about it, the more I feel like I should do a brand new list, a ghetto deck with Gathering the Beast, but like mono win or something. That could be actually a blast. I am inspired. I am inspired by this deck list there. That's my own, but hey, I forgot I did this deck. I did this deck a long time ago, like most of the decks. So yeah, that one looks fun. Okay, it's very original. This is the second Gedo-like deck that is unique, I think. Now, this is only Void, but it's unique because usually you like to play that kind of stuff. You like to play Gedo with like wind or water because these two are really good at filling your graveyard. But this looks actually like a very fun list because it's a pain deck, but I took out one of Pain's mission to make a ghetto deck. Now, I did not play tested this. I have no idea how good or bad this is. But just because it's Pain, I will assume it's very playable. Now, Giant Panda is limited to 1 in the most recent ROG list. So that's why I only run 1. With that being said, this looks very fun to play, just like most of the other decks I did. Now, you will see 8 Tails there. Usually 8 Tails is one of the most unplayable card in the game. This is very funny because they then created Killer Bee version 2 that is very playable, and that's a really strong card. But before Killer Bee version 2, the closest thing we had to the 8 Tail was the 8 Tail himself, but it was always really bad and unplayable because that was like turn 7 usually, and you need to sacrifice a Killer Bee. But that's not a reinforcement, so that's basically your deployment. And you need to kill one of your ninjas. Don't get me wrong, the effect is really good, but that's the cost of it, and all you put in play that ninja that you're like, it's bad. But the fact that Ghetto Art of Ren Rebirth ignore sacrifice means you can actually play 8 Tails. And this looks like a funny thing to do, to actually play 8 Tails without its stupid cost. And now I see Almighty Push and Catastrophic Planetary Construction. Oh my. So there's a combo like 8 Tail brings stuff in the battle reward if you win an outstanding victory. So combined with Catastrophic Planetary Construction, you basically wipe out a team and you send people in the battle reward. I forgot how many you can send to the battle reward, but even one of your opponent ninja is already really good. And yeah, it's interesting because in this list, I actually run the Aim Orphan. I don't usually do that in Paint decks. Because I don't think it's a great mission. It's not a bad mission. I just don't think it's a great mission. I just think there are better mission you can pick in Void. So here we are with the next up, with the Raikage. Raikage is in the place. So this is the weakest one. Well, actually, it's actually better than um the other one. He's like in the middle, and because of Gedo ignoring sacrifice, you could actually run him, and it would be very playable. I don't think I play him because I think there are other Kages out there, but you could play him if you want to. So this one is actually the weakest Raikage. Um, he is 9170. When this ninja is put in play, you can injure ninja whose combat is less than this ninja's. So it's funny because he is one of the top there. Like, the only few that could be actually be higher would be like ninjas with buff because of their effects, or like Naruto and his tails, depending which tails you pick. So it's actually good. Look, in Gedo, I don't think he is good, but if you play a Taijutsu deck, it could be interesting. But here again, the other Raikage is much better. That's the true Raikage. Lightning, water, wind. He is so good. Not only is 3 colors, but he has an exchange of jutsu effects, so it's more than just once. Cost 2, if this ninja is in a team by itself, it gets +5, +0, and the support of every opposing ninja becomes 0 during this turn. Then draw 1 card. This is so good. Not only you will be scared to block with the team, but you also get to draw 1. You don't even need support with him. He's just entering the battlefield. He's like, yo, the only one that can really take me on is like Naruto 4-tail or Naruto 6-tail. No one else can take me on. And this is the best feeling you can get. I like that so much. It's crazy. You get to draw, bro. Next up, Tsuchikage. Now, this is funny, because he actually got 3 different Tsuchikage, and this is very interesting. Among the newest Kages, he's the one that got the most. Now, you can actually run this one. I don't think I do because he's Void, but it's still a very good option. I won't judge you if I see you using this Tsuchikage, because this ninja cannot be blocked by a team that includes a ninja with less entrance cost than this ninja's. It's so good. Especially when you Gedo Art. If you Gedo Art, he's there turn 4, and your opponent is less likely going to have a turn 6 to block that potato there. So it's really good. Now, I do have this. I actually have all of the Tsuchikage there, all of them. This is the weakest. I don't really run him, even if I could. He's actually really bad. When any of your opponent ninja receive damage, you may remove that ninja from its team. In that case, this ninja cannot be sent out to battle during the next turn. So the issue there is the other Tsushikage are just better than him. Now, I will give some credit where credit is due. It says you may remove. So this means you can use this effect as many times as you want. So that actually looks good, right? But here's the thing. You need to deal that damage. So you need to like throw jutsu or win a fight. That's the condition, the issue there. The effect itself is good, but to trigger it, it's actually hard. You need to work to make it work. And that's the reason why he is not that great. Now, if you play him, I won't judge you because, as I said, he is playable. I mean, you can use his effect several times. So if you have like combo stuff where you damage stuff and it's just there, yo, I stop you from attacking next turn. That's fun. So that's the next up. Okay, this is a better Tsushikage. This one is the only valid one. He has Revitalize. He is good in permanent deck. Remove 1 coin from a mission you control, placing -1/-1 coin on Darya Ninja, then remove that ninja from its team. So, if you're a coins deck, that's actually very fun and it can do wonders. If you're not playing coins, it's not that impressive. Like in Gedo, forget it, it's actually terrible, but in general, if you play permanent decks, he is very playable and I can see you using him. So this is the one I use. I have 2 copies of him in real life. That's funny because they are both in different decks. Anyway, he is amazing. That's the best Tsushikage there ever was. He is a bit like Kazekage Gaara, but here's the thing. He's a bit weaker. He only has one effect. When one or more ninjas you control that share a symbol with this ninja becomes the target of a jutsu, you can pay 1. In that case, negate and move that jutsu to the top of its owner deck. Then its user becomes a standby ninja. So not only you negate something, but you stand by someone. And usually if you're smart, all of your ninja will be earth, fire, or wind. So most of your ninja will share a symbol with him. So that's the wonders of that one. Not only he standbys, but he negates the jutsu. That's scary, and I need to point that one out as well. He has 5 support. The only 2 cards that have that much support, well, actually 3 others. Jiraiya Sage Mode has 5 support. Azuma and Shikamaru have 5 support. And Gaara and Temari have 5 support. So there are only a few ninjas that are able to provide 5 support. It's actually really good, and I almost forgot about them. Sakon and Yukon State 2, they actually have 5 support. So you can count them in the fingers of 2 ends. Next stop, the reason why we are making this video. Gedo Art of Arena Rebirth. Turn 6, but there are ways to speed that one up if you play Pains or if you play Sakura's Tears. These are the best ways. Now, Both players, starting with you, move one ninja card from their discard pile to their village, ignoring sacrifice. This is essential if you want to play 8 Tails. This is essential if you want to play Pain. Repeat this effect until both players pass consecutively. OP. Gathering the Beast. Okay, this one is very interesting. Usually it's played in Imperious Reaction decks, but in this decks, you can also run it because you don't care about having ninjas in your graveyard because your idea is to bring them in play. Search your deck for 3 ninja cards and reveal them. In that case, your opponent selects and move one of the revealed cards to your end and discard the rest. If you control an Imperious Reaction, you select instead, then shuffle your deck. Really good. The idea, as I said, is to just dump stuff you want to play. Next up, Axis of Evil. Amazing Water Fire card. While your opponent has 5 or more battle reward, all numbers in this card's effect text are increased by 1. Search your deck for 1 card and move it to your discard pile. Then shuffle your deck and draw 1 card. So if your opponent has a bunch of battle reward, you search 2 cards and you draw 2. That's actually really good. Next up, Lords Convene. Reveal the top 5 cards of your deck. You may move 1 revealed card to your end, then return the rest to the top of your deck and shuffle it. So the idea is just getting the ninjas you want, and that's it. Lost Classic Draw Power. Draw 2. That's quite simple. Sakura Steers, limited to 1. Select a mission card in your discard pile and apply its effect. Choose targets before applying the effect if needed. Remove this mission from the game afterward. So you only got 1 shot with Sakura Steers, and the idea is you have Gedo turn 4 in your grave. You can play Gedo turn 4. As simple as that. It's so broken, that's why it's limited to 1 in every tier list. Next up, Ghost Panic. Another limited to 1 card in every single ROG list. Select 1 ninja card with a water symbol in your discard pile and put it in play. When this mission card is removed from play, if that ninja is still remain in play, discard that ninja. So in Gedo, you will just bring whatever you sent back to the grave, you'll just bring it back. That's why it's really good. Next up, Makeout. Lets you search your deck for 1 ninja or client card with an entrance cost less than the number of cards in your Chakra area. Reveal it and place it in your hand, then shuffle your deck. There's also that very fun mission. In this deck, it's not the best thing because it's quite late, and usually you want Sakura Tears in turn 4, but I could see you playing this in the current meta because Never Ending Love is banned. This is the strongest wind draw power outside of Entrustment. Entrustment is actually better, but a Master's Depth is a guaranteed 3 draw, which is really good. Next up, here we go. Ankle's memory limited to one copy because it's too good. Move up to 3 cards from your chakra area to your end. This is a OP card. Really good. No wonder why it's limited to 1. Blocked memory. So this is a mission to stall if you want to. Permanent. While your turn maker is 2 or less, players cannot win any battle reward. So this is only good in the early parts of the game. I once have seen a really good deck that ran this card, and the idea of that deck was to mill you until you deck out, and with this mission and other stuff, the turn maker would remain 2 or less. Anyway, block and memory in that deck is really good. Next up would be the Time of Pain. If you run the Pain variant, if you have 2 or more Renegan and or Akatsuki, you can move your turn maker up by 1, then move 1 card from the bottom of your deck to your end. The idea is move your turn maker up and draw. Simple. Next up, the Cloud Council. So I only have 1 in real life, and this is a really good card. I wished I had more. I have seen player using the +1/+1 coin on each of their ninjas. It's not really good. The best way to use this mission is to draw 2. And the other idea is Lightning Water Wind. Really good. Next up would be Dehydration. With this, you negate someone for 3 turns. Like Shimon, Ino's Playful, any other ninja that would stop you from using your juicy gedo art. Next up would be Comparative Strength. Same idea, but instead of water earth, it's only earth. It doesn't have an end cost, and it lasts 2 turns instead of 3. You negate something, you are happy, you keep playing. Ina is perfect to deny a permanent mission that bother you. Clients. The perfect example, the perfect target for you is like, if you fight Uchiha, you target Proud Symbol, or you target Tayaki. Another way to use it, if your opponent plays art-to-art communication, you destroy it with Ina. Next up would be... I think we are done with missions. So the next up would be Ambush. So it's not the best mission out there, but it's very fun. It gives ambush to one of your ninja in your chakra area for the turn, and it doesn't have any end cost. So it can be helpful if you got a big potato in your chakra and that potato doesn't have ambush. It's very appreciated sometimes. Can work well. So this is the last mission we cover. I do not have it in real life. That's why it's not part of any of the deck we covered. This is buying time. I have seen that card being played out there. Really good card. I really wished I had it in real life. So this is a water version of Block Memory. Permanent 3. Each time your opponent would win one or more battle rewards. Reduce that number by 1. So if it's 1, it's 0. If it's 2, it's 1. It's so good. Is it a staple in water? Not really, because water has just much better missions. But if you play to stall, if you play because you know the late game you win, this is perfect. I would replace Block Memory by this. Because this is a permanent tree. So this means that this will go to my chakra. And it only affects your opponent, not you. This is why it's better than Block Memory. I don't run it because I don't have that mission in real life. Okay, next up, this is another water-like deck. We got 4 Kazekage, Eno Geoja, Tenten, 6 Hokage, 3rd Tsushikage. So we got a bunch of Kage because Gedo like its big ninjas. 5th Hokage, 3 Tails, that's the first big water ninja. And what's fun about 3 Tails is we use the newest one, set 28. So if you Gedo Rinriber Gedo, you blow up your opponent chakra. If you Ghost Panic, you blow up your opponent chakra. So the two best ways to have that 3 tail and play blow up your opponent chakra. And this is really good because you have lots of ninjas. You don't really care about AOG. You just want a good showdown. Bunch of good Kages here again. Lots of water splash into it to make it work. Now, interesting enough, I got Shino Barame, the 1 turn 0 that makes a coin. Now, it's a really good one because it lets you defend yourself a few turns and stall, and you have a free blocker basically, and that's very fun. Next up would be Mabui. Mabui is some kind of staple for Gedo decks. She's also staple in lightning decks that I don't really like or play when you want special kunai and crap like that. Next stuff, we got Suigetsu Osuki. So that's the turn 2-1. I think it's like Tale of the Gallant Sage or something. This one makes you discard 1 water ninja. No, it actually makes you discard 1 ninja. If it's a water, you draw 1. So in this deck, it's perfect. You will just throw your water ninja. You don't really care about that. Next up is Vacuum Bullets, Vacuum Blade, Pressure Damage, Hydro Pump, Snake Sword. Now, this is funny because I see Hidden Mist Jutsu, but I will assume this is before I realized I had 2 Vacuum Blade. I actually have 2 Vacuum Blade in real life. So, if I update this deck, I will actually take out Hidden Mist Jutsu and just run 2 Vacuum Blade. Because Vacuum Blade is just much better as a negate jutsu. Next up, Cloud Council. This has both symbols for this deck. Lost because you like to draw. Ghost Panic. Limited to 1 because broken. Sacrifice Tears. Also limited to 1, by the way. Another broken card. Comparative Strength. Axis of Evil. Gedo Art, Rin Rebirth, and Ina. So now it's time for the jutsus. First up, Toadmouth Trap. I run 2 because I only have 2 in real life. Or maybe I actually don't run them, but that could be an option I have. Uh, it's basically 2 lining or 3 colorless. In gedo decks, you would most likely pay the 3 colorless. So let's do this. It negates a jutsu if you got a Ninja Toad in your team outside of the user. The user get +2/+2. This is really good. Next up, Snake Sword. All Snake Sword are really good, I think, except for maybe this one. This one is the worst Snake Sword, but all of the others are very playable. But the one we refer to in this deck would be this one. I only run one because I only have one in real life. Printed entrance codes of 5 or more. Every ninja opposing the user. Move the target back to its owner end. So it's like Vortex, but with Orochimaru as art. Next up, Hydro Pump. Classic limited jutsu. It's limited to 1 requirement. Entrance codes of 5 or more. Target 2 ninja. You can snipe stuff even if they don't battle. That's why it was limited to 1. Move the target to its owner end. So it's a huge setback. And if you got 4th Kazekage on the field, this is probably good game. Even if you brought the entire graveyard on the field, losing 3 ninjas like that against a swarm of Kages, forget it. Vacuum. So this is Vacuum Blade. Target 1 jutsu, negate the target, then the user gets +2/+2. This turn for each specific symbol on the target's cost. So this can become broken, OP, absurd, disgusting. If you use with Danzo and you have reverse tetragram, oh my, it's OP. Vacuum Blade. You have many Satosa if you play the Kage variant. Requirement, entrance cost of 3 or more. Target 1 ninja opposing the user. The target becomes a standby ninja. Then if the user's entrance cost is less than or equal to the user injured the target. So this means not only you standby, but you kill someone if it's freaking Kage level that use that. Wind Pressure. That's the next up. Wind Pressure. Cost 2 winds. Target 1 ninja opposing the user. Move the target and the user to their end. So if you have an injured ninja and he has a strong and LT ninja on the field, you can say, oh yeah, I blocked with that fodder. I used pressure, I bounced my father to my end. He was dying anyway, so I saved my dying ninja and I just sent back on one of yours. It's so good and underrated. It's underused. Another good one. Because you want to stall. This is great. Because you don't want your ninjas to be injured. This is great. Every ninja in the user's team and the team opposing it becomes a standby ninja. So you're about to lose the exchange of jutsu. You pay 1 wind and you're fine. Now, next up, a trigram. Where are you, the right one? You are there. Requirement, Jonin or higher rank. Target 1 ninja. Move the target back to the top of its original owner deck. OP. I'm telling you. So here, reverse tetragram. I don't have that card in real life. I wish I had. Tetra. Okay. It's so good. This jutsu cannot be negated. OP. Requirement: entrance costs 5 or more. Remove the user from the game, then remove any number of your opponent ninja from the game whose total entrance cost less than or equal to the user. Expert Danzo, draw 2 cards. So with Danzo, oh my, you can see the picture. Not only you blow up the field, but you draw 2 cards. Then if you lose a jutsu and a ninja, you don't care. You kill a bunch of people and you drew 2 cards. It's so good. I wished I had at least once of these in real life. I don't. Another good card I don't really run, but that could be an option if you want to run more jutsus. Basho Shed powers. Usually gedo, I have several colors. Basically applies one of the following effects. Earth, you stand by someone. Fire, you injure someone. Lightning, the user gets +3. Water, negates one jutsu and move it back to their end. Wind, draw 1 and discard 1. So yeah, that's the next stop. I don't run that, but that's playable. So I think this is actually the last jutsu. I will double check right after I record this. But Winside Jutsu, a weaker version, basically target one jutsu card being used. Negate the target, move it to its owner. Chakra area. Additionally, if the user is Timori, change the user of the target to injured status. Say negate that can injure. Actually, I almost forgot about that one. This is if you play the Telbeast version. Feral Rage is very fun. Reduce this jutsu card cost by X. X where's the user's entrance cost. So if you play Beast for like 6 or, well, I should say for 3 or 4 chakra, you can actually snipe someone. Free kill, just like that. Next up, Hit and Miss Jutsu. Another negate one, but that's a really weak one. That's water. And lastly, the last and final jutsu. I do not have it in real life, but it's amazing. Requirement: Sadosa. Target one ninja. Effect: every other ninja in the user team becomes a standby ninja. And remove the target from the game. Then draw 2 cards. So you blow up an entire team. You stand by 2 members. You remove from the game 1 member. Gravity. Give 2 damage to every ninja that was made a standby. So if you use it with Ono Key, you nuke the team. And you draw 2. It's ridiculous. And then we got that one. I made an entire deck around that one because I do have that one in real life, and I think it's a meme and it's actually playable, but it's nowhere near as good as the other one. So our focus here is to speak about the lower cost ninja, like turn 2 or less. We already covered the big ones. So let's start off by saying Flashpoint Otaru is amazing. 2 color. When she's put in play, you draw and discard 1. It's OP. You need to do that. She also has mental power. That's amazing. Next up, 10-10. At the start of your turn, you can discard a card. In that case, draw 1 card. If the card you discarded was not an Earth card, which is what you want, Move the top 3 card of your deck to your discard pile. OP, broken. OP, broken. So next up, Utagata. I'm missed the mark with his name. That's the one you want to play. Attack your mission, exchange of jutsu. Pay 1, search your deck for a non-ambush card and move it to your chakra area. Shuffle your deck afterward. OP. Great, amazing. Mabui, same thing. We also got another 10-10 that does the same thing. We also got a Shino that does the same thing. But we will go over another Shino before we go over the Shino that can search. So this is the Shino. This one is to have more chump blockers. When this ninja is put in play, put 1 a ninja blade coin symbolizing an insect coin. And that insect cannot use jutsus, but you don't care, you just want to block and buy some time. Now, the next Shino is the one that lets you search. It's the set 25 one, another really good card. Next up, Kiba Inuzuka. So, when this ninja is deployed, you can reveal top 5 card of your deck. In that case, select 1 mission card among them and move it to your hand. Then, return the rest and shuffle your deck. Now, I will say this, it should work very often with your gedo deck. A good gedo deck doesn't need that many jutsus. I usually run 4 to 6 jutsus in a gedo deck. The ninjas have crazy effect, and your focus should be on having mission. Either to stop your opponent from stopping you, or to make you draw, discard, control your draw in your deck. So this Kiba is amazing. Now, Shino, the squad. Where are you, squad? So this is the squad. During your mission phase, you can discard a ninja card from your end. In that case, draw 2 cards and move 1 card from your end to the bottom of your deck. This is really good, because you want to discard ninjas, because Gedo will bring them back anyway. And you draw. So that's ridiculous. That's just golden. Another good choice, Suigatsu. During the exchange of jutsu, you can discard 1 ninja card. In that case, this ninja gets +2 during this turn. If you discarded a water ninja, due to this effect, draw 1 card. OP broken. So the next few stops are very similar from each other. These are cards that can help out to stall the game. Hinata Yuga Childhood. Valid. When this ninja blocks, this ninja gets +3/+0 during this turn. So this means she becomes a 5/0 if she blocks. If she has any support, she will most likely survive the fight LT. So she is the perfect wall, and outside of vanilla deck, maybe Ninja Toad, she will most likely win the fight. So she's a perfect ninja to just slow down people. Next up would be Sea Monster. So this one is water. So if you want to do a water wind gedo deck, that's a good card. Sea Monster is basically, while your opponent has 1 or less chakra with a water symbol, this ninja cannot be sent out to attack. Valid. Sea Monster ninja in your end, and chakra area get -1 and cost. So I will say this, we don't really care about that, as the fig is actually trash. The reason to play Sea Monster is the stats. 5-0, 5-0, LT, and injured. He is a wall. He can block, he cannot attack. But you don't care if he cannot attack. You're a gedo. At some point, you will just outnumber your opponent. Sea Monster just need to be around to stall the game. So I hope everyone enjoyed this video all about gedo. Now, it took much longer than expected to record this, because it's like an hour and 40 minutes probably, I don't know exactly. I haven't edited this anyway. It took me like 2 weeks to make this video here. So yeah, it was meant to be uploaded 2 weeks ago, but here we are. It's uploaded today, I guess. And I hope everyone enjoyed. Like, comment, and subscribe. We will do more deck profile. I also recorded a few games here and there. Some I won, some I lost. That's life. Anyway, I hope everyone enjoyed. Take care of yourself. Have a good one.